Hey everyone, this is the 11th episode of the All Day Show with No Budget with me, Jason Leong. Now, I'm proud to be Malaysian because Malaysians are a very interesting group of people. I know what Malaysians do when they have hemorrhoids. They see Dr. Google. You know what's proven and reliable? Deflon, the tolerable, effective, and natural treatment widely used to treat hemorrhoids. It relieves symptoms like pain and bleeding as fast as the next day. Now, on to the main video. Hey everyone, welcome to the All Day Show. Now, the first big news item is that apparently, recently, the MACC has investigated a local sex ring which involves local artists and Insta-famous influencers. Now, since this news broke, a lot of people have been asking me, Jason, are you involved in this sex ring? And I can understand why, because according to the report, the people involved in this prostitution ring, they like to make quick money, I finish very fast, and they have no dignity. I'm interested in this report because apparently the artists can make up to 40,000 a night. Compare that to the average Malaysian CEO salary, which is about 25,000 ringgit a month. So I've decided to enter this prostitution ring by positioning myself and offering unique services. For 10,000 ringgit, I will go to all your social media profiles and comment on all your photos with things like, "Yas Queen, you are awesome, you are the best. If he can't handle you at your worst, he doesn't deserve you at your best. You are the Beyonce in your group of friends." For 20,000 ringgit, I will write you an MC so that you can avoid that work Zoom call meeting where you spend the first half an hour saying, "Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Did you mute me? I didn't mute me. I can't hear you. I didn't mute you. Can you hear me?" For 40,000 ringgit, you give me the car plate number of the guy who double parked and blocked you from coming out. Then I will hunt him down and I will double park and block him from coming out. Then I will stab him. For 1,000 ringgit, I will sleep with you. I have porn experience. The MACC is now on a lookout for influencers who flaunt their wealth and they cannot explain the source of their wealth. Thank God, because now we can say goodbye to all those posts of people putting their hands on the steering wheel of their expensive cars with captions like, "Oh my God, I just went for a manicure." Shut up. These kind of people, I hope they crash and burn their car and die slowly. Another problem Malaysians faced in the last week are the confusing SOPs that came out of the face holes of our ministers. Only 2 allowed in the car, but you can dine in restaurants up to 4 to 5 people. Gyms are not allowed to open and then magically allowed to reopen 4 days later. Schools can be open and then closed. Large events are not allowed, but weddings are allowed if guests can provide the wedding invitation as proof, because the virus respects holy matrimony. By the way, if the virus is at the wedding, must the virus give ang pao? So I was genuinely frustrated with all these confusing SOPs. I decided to come up with my own SOPs and I urge all Malaysians to follow them. Here they are. All Malaysians aged 18 to 60 are allowed to go to office, but only if your age is an odd number. You're only allowed to travel to work in a car with maximum 4 people plus 1 mannequin. But the driver of the car must not be from the same zone which you were born in. This applies on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On all other days, only those whose age are an even number will go to work, and the rest stay home. This only applies to states with more than 2 vowels in its name. When you go to work, you're only allowed to work from 9:17 a.m. till 2:44 p.m. with a 36 minutes and 24 seconds lunch break. For dine-ins, only 4 per table is allowed, and the table must be of pentagon shape to confuse the coronavirus. Waiters must wear a full hazmat suit while serving food. Patrons must eat without using their hands, as this will minimize transmission of the virus. Conversations at restaurants must only be limited to how good a job the government is doing at combating this pandemic. And for schools, schools are allowed to open if the teachers really hate the kids. Most importantly, all politicians must work from home and some work from jail. If it feels like the country is falling apart, I don't blame you. But I don't think it's the rakyat's fault. Last Friday, rumors swirled around the nation of a possible declaration of a state of emergency. This came as a shock because the emergency was ostensibly meant to combat COVID-19, but you don't need an emergency to combat this pandemic. We, the Rakyat, already flattened the curve successfully early this March with our first ever unprecedented MCO. We came together, we did our duty to the nation, and we successfully, I repeat, flattened the curve. Then, politics happened and all our gains were reversed, our frontliners are exhausted, and our case numbers are rising steadily at a record-breaking rate. So when it comes to this emergency, it feels like while the situation calls for a scalpel, they are calling for a whole set of hammers. What entered through the back door is now heading towards the emergency exit. Some are speculating that with the emergency in place, there is no need for the government to seek parliamentary support to pass the budget. Now, this is important because if the budget is not passed in Parliament, this is tantamount to a vote of no confidence against the Prime Minister. Now it makes sense. You see, this is like a game of Among Us, where the imposters are calling for an emergency meeting and getting everybody riled up, and then they say, hey, skip voting. This is a bit sus. Some aspects of Asian parenting are very different from Western parenting. Like if a white kid were to ask his or her parent, Daddy, Mommy, where did I come from? The white parent will say something like, oh, a stork delivered you to Mommy's and Daddy's loving embrace from heaven. If you ask an Asian parent, Mommy, Daddy, where did I come from? The parent will say, we picked you up from the rubbish bin. And I can relate because right now, our Abba is treating us like garbage. At least Selangor now has water. The political situation in Malaysia is going insane, okay? And I pity my friend Ernest Ng, who is a comic artist. Now, Ernest Ng chronicles Malaysia's political/pandemic saga every week in his award-winning manga called COVID Ball Z. And I contacted him to get his take on the latest developments in our country, and this is what he has to say. Ernest, hang in there. As a Malaysian citizen, I feel that it is really unfair that the burden and the blame always seems to fall on the rakyat, we the citizens. We tried our best, we adhered to the MCO. Sure, there were some idiots, but by and large, Malaysians adhered to the MCO. We stuck together, we juggled ourselves, we adhered to the SOPs, and we flattened the curve initially. It is the politicians who spread the virus. It is the politicians who come up with vague SOPs. It is the politicians who break quarantine. It is the politicians who don't even adhere to their own SOPs. And now, when cases steadily rise up, we are threatened with the rotan. This is not fair. At least Selangor has water. In other news, the Selangor Water Management Board have managed to prevent yet another water disruption by investigating and resolving 2 water pollution incidents in Selangor. Okay, so why is this news? Why is this newsworthy? I mean, yes, it's great that you've prevented another water disruption, but isn't that kind of your job to prevent water disruptions? Or in other words, to make sure the taps keep running? Like when I was a doctor, I don't go and pat myself on the back at the end of the day by saying, hey man, I did a good job today because nobody died. That is my job. Like, how impressed would you be if your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, one night says, hey darling, this week, I did not cheat on you. Now, in international news, Rudy Giuliani, the former mayor of New York and the personal lawyer of Donald Trump, was caught in a scandal when he was filmed doing some stuff with a young actress after an interview. Take a look.
Shall we have a drink in the bedroom?
What happened? There you go, my dear.
Okay.
There you go. You can give me your phone number and your address.
Should we slip your jacket?
Okay.
Put down your crumb.
Oh.
She's 15. She's too old for you.
Now, of course, this was all planned by the master comedian Sacha Baron Cohen for his upcoming film, the Borat sequel. But the incident is real in the sense that Rudy Giuliani did go into the room with a young actress and did some weird stuff. Now, I've watched this video too many times, and my reaction as a Malaysian citizen is, come on, Sasha, This is tame and weak stuff. Come back to us Malaysians when you have videos of other things happening. That's all I'll say about this issue. I'm still going to watch a movie. I love Borat. As of 12 p.m. 24th of October, Malaysia has recorded 1,228 cases. Another daily breaking record. 1,228. Now, I know a lot of Malaysians will panic. I urge Malaysians not to panic. Now is not the time for panic. But I'm rest assured that a lot of Malaysian Chinese won't panic. In fact, their biggest worry is how to get to Magnum 4D or Sports Toto early enough to buy the numbers 1228. Hey, don't pretend like you don't do it. Please, come on, don't wayang, okay? Don't act. Every Malaysian Chinese is going to buy the numbers 1228, okay? And of course, every Malaysian Chinese will know one or two Malay friends who will ask them to help buy, okay? Don't pretend. I know this is going to happen, okay? What I'm trying to say is, can anyone help me buy the numbers 1228? Buy one big, buy one small, pow. Anyone can help me buy? I will send you the money later. Thank you. My lawyers have advised me to say in this video that gambling is bad. 1228, buy one big, buy one small, pow. I'm going to get serious for a while here. As we all know, Malaysia is going through tough times, particularly the state of Sabah. Reports are painting a rather troubling situation in Sabah. I have a lot of faith and respect for the frontliners, but as the DG has mentioned, some of them are exhausted and on the verge of giving up. And I want to emphasize that although we call them frontliners, they are actually our last line of defense. If that line of defense gets broken, a lot of bad things can and will happen to our country. So I'm appealing to all those of you who are watching this. I know times are tough, but if you can, please donate some of your money to help the Sabah frontliners. I will include a link in the description below to donate to the Sabah frontliners via Mercy Malaysia. There are also a lot of cool initiatives run by NGOs to help Sabah. I'm going to put up the information now. You can screenshot it and then donate at your convenience later on. So please, donate and help if you can. I assure you, if you want to help Malaysia in this particular moment, helping Sabah is the best bang for your buck. Thank you very much. And that's all for me now for the 11th episode of the All Day Show with No Budget with me, Jason Leong. I'll see you on the 12th episode. Bye-bye. Once again, special thanks to Deflon, one of the world's leading treatments for hemorrhoids. Tolerable and effective pain relief the natural way. If only it was that easy to cure world problems, huh? Do like their Facebook page for more info. Thank you, Deflon. Until the next time, bye-bye.